South Africa is not prepared for the fourth industrial revolution, and the Department of International Relations and Cooperation hopes that discussions underway in Davos will help ensure that it can change this. SABC anchor Nzinga Qunta is in Switzerland at the World Economic Forum. She spoke to Minister Lindiwe Sisulu.
It's the first day of the World Economic Forum meetings in Davos, Switzerland, and Team South Africa has brought a strong contingent of ministers and business leaders to discuss the theme, which is Globalization 4.0, shaping a global architecture in the age of the fourth industrial revolution. For more on this, I'm joined by Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Lindiwe Sisulu. Minister, thanks so much for your time on SABC News. One of the ways in which South Africa is selling ourselves as an investment destination is saying we've got a very young labour force and an eager labour force. How do we incorporate this and the fourth industrial revolution to move South Africa forward?
I'd like to ask your permission to divert a little bit before I answer your question and to use this opportunity to, as Minister of DIRCO, to pass my sincerest condolences on behalf of the department to the family of the late Ambassador Dumsane Khumalo, who until his retirement was our representative at the United Nations and did a sterling work for us as a government. On the question that you have asked, you will remember that at BRICS, one of the main subjects of discussion and the theme of BRICS Summit in Johannesburg was the issue of the fourth industrial revolution, how we prepare ourselves for it and how we make sure that to take advantage of the fourth industrial revolution. Artificial technology is developing at a rate faster than we can cope with, and the people who are best suited to gain from this are the youth, because they grew up in an environment where technology is very available, where they grew up with technology as a tool of communication. And we are hoping that we can harness their eagerness and their ability to deal with technology to be on top of the situation. The fourth industrial revolution is something we cannot avoid. It is upon us. But it does bring concerns as well as advantages. The advantages I've already worked out with you, especially for the youth. But they are also a bit... there are a few concerns that we might have as a government, and that is the future of work. You will know that the President is very instrumental in the issue of the future of work and co-chairs the ILO sector on that. And he will be going to the ILO to discuss this matter. And I hope that we will be able to find a suitable balance between the future of work and the advantages that we will get out of the fourth industrial revolution.
Is DIRCO thinking about how technology is also going to help in the diplomatic corps in terms of the work that people do all over the world?
It is, but sadly you touch on a very sore point. We're very behind in our technology. So can we skip the question? We're doing all we can. The Auditor General has actually given us a finding around our technology, and he thinks that it's not up to date, which is not a good sign. And it's not something I want to dwell on. But we are doing something about it to make sure that we can take advantage of the facilities that are available in the countries where we've deployed our cadres and our ambassadors. We will be approaching CETA, and fortunately the minister responsible for that is here, Minister Abrahams Ndabeni, and we would like to have a compact where she prioritizes us as a face of the country out there to make sure that we can take advantage of technological advances.
One of the issues around technology, the internet and the fourth industrial revolution is access. And in Zimbabwe recently there have been protests over the fuel price. Those protests have sometimes turned violent and people have died. One of the measures that the Zimbabwean government took was switching off the internet, getting internet service providers to switch off the internet. That is a human rights violation, and DIRCO had earlier said to me that it's a domestic issue. Is that still the position?
No, I think fortuitously the courts have ruled on that, and that matter is now settled. The courts have the matter was taken to court, and the courts have ruled on that, and Zimbabwe is bound by its own constitution to abide by the outcome of the court. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the Democratic Republic of Congo, we've just seen an election, and also the courts saying Tshisekedi is the presidential winner of those elections. What's your comment on the situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo at present?
Well, That is now something that we have put behind us. It was finally escalated to the Constitutional Court, and that is the final arbiter of any disagreements that may have been between the parties. We are hoping that there will be some kind of peace until such time as the new president is inaugurated. I believe he has not yet been inaugurated because of logistical problems. But we congratulated the people of the DRC for the relative peace that obtained in that country throughout the elections. We have been with the DRC for many years. We are part of the troops that are deployed there under MINUSCA, and we have seen how violent it can be during election. And this time it was fairly peaceful. So we thank the people for that, and we thanked also the authorities that presided over the election. And finally the courts have decided, that Felix Tshisekedi is the future president of the DRC. We abide by that. We will give them all the support that they need. We have been giving support to the DRC in the form of troops, and like any other SADC country, we will deal with them in that way.
Minister, let's come back to the fourth industrial revolution. And I know you were saying you're not prepared, but I think a lot of people are not prepared. Minister Davies yesterday speaking to us about a survey done by the World Economic Forum, and most countries are not fully prepared. So going forward, how would you say that, knowing that we've got a big youth population, knowing that we have decent infrastructure, that you will start thinking about, particularly your department, making sure that you do get ahead, especially with your interactions with Minister Ndabeni Abrams, who's here?
Yes, I have just indicated that we need to have a special compact with her. I think a great deal of responsibility is on her shoulder now as the new minister of that department. And indeed, it is true. Many countries are not prepared for the fourth industrial revolution, because, as I indicated, it is developing at a rate faster than the mind can take in. And for us adults, it is a nightmare. But it is something that we would like to embrace and take with us, because what it promises for the future is incredible. It's an inevitability we cannot do without.